Welcome to the Play Your Way podcast. This is 2025. We're here. We're doing the first podcast of the year. I'm your host, Johnny Murr, and I am joined with Prater. Jordan is back to kick off 2025. Yes, sir. We have, honestly, it's crazy. We're starting 2025 with a bang because we got quite the lineup. Yeah, I mean, the lineup and the, what do you call it? Not the criteria. What do people call like a list of to-dos kind of criteria? I don't know. I'm trying to think of I don't know. We have an insane lineup of topics. So stacked that even Jordan texted me, are we doing this for 5 hours, question mark? Because yeah, some big topics, some exciting topics. But don't worry, it's not going to be 5 hours. Yeah, welcome to Play Your Way, man. How have you been?
I have been decent. I work in retail, so holiday season has been quite the time. I'm glad that that's on its way out. But I have been decent. Personally, I've been feeling a little under the weather the last 36 hours or so. I'm still feeling a little tough, but hey, promised I'd be here. So
yeah,
we're here. We're gonna make it work. I like I said, I am still feeling a little tough, but you did promise me that it wouldn't be 5 hours. So
it will. It'll be like 4.5 hours. No. But anyway, before we get started, we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we're gonna go into tradition, which tradition is kind of like our first topic in a way, but. A little bit of housekeeping. I do have a channel update out on the channel right now, just explaining what 2025 is going to look like, some of my goals, and a little bit of update to some of the content, as well as the, official announcement on the channel for the United Game Awards, which is my little Game Awards show I'm going to be doing. I'm creating graphics for it. I might even be creating some cool little hype trailers for it. It's going to be a fun time. I have all the nominations for it locked in. So all the nominations are final. I've played all the games I've wanted to in 2024 to the amount that I've wanted to. I mean, there are some I wish I played a little bit more of, but unfortunately, I don't want to do it in March, so I'm kind of cutting it off there. But for the most part, I've at least played or touched every single game, and we're gonna be doing that. What is so funny, Jordan?
I'm gonna get you to grind Rebirth. I'm telling you.
Okay, listen.
I don't care if you have to do it in June. Honestly, it's coming out. On
PC.
I'm just gonna launch the topic. It's coming out on PC in 14 days. Just get it on PC and a freaking platinum. What's it called when you do it on Steam? What's it called?
What is that called? I don't know.
Because I know they're technically achievements, aren't they? Are they called achievements?
Yeah, they're called achievements. What is it? Is it just the platinum achievement?
Is it called clearing a game or something? I feel like somebody told me once on Steam. I don't know.
No idea. But anyway, the nominations are locked in, so I'm currently finishing up all the prep for that, and then the Game Awards show, the United Game Awards, will be on January 24th, which is a Friday in January. So be looking forward to that. And I just have a bunch of reactions up on the channel, like music reactions to a little bit Baby's new album, as well as a tier list. I see Jordan. We're not even gonna go there.
I'm not. I'm just gonna let you have it.
And yeah, we're gonna have some fun this year with a lot of content. But make sure you go check out that update because it explains a lot. I have a bunch of rankings and tier lists and a bunch of cool videos on the way. Yeah, Jordan. Actually, we're gonna do this tradition a little bit. Sorry, that caught me off guard. That was funny. We're gonna do tradition a little bit differently. Because our first topic is a little bit of catch up.
No, I don't wanna. I want to talk about Mass Effect.
Well, yes, we will do that. We will do that. So, obviously, we haven't had a podcast in a few weeks because we took off for winter break just because why not. So a lot has happened. We've played a lot of things throughout winter break. We kind of covered the Game Awards on a podcast, but if Jordan has not covered it on the podcast, so if he wants to say anything about that, he can. Basically anything that's happened since the last time you were on that you want to talk about, we'll do that. This is our end of 2024 catch-up moment topic type thing. So now I'll do the famous line. Jordan, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a few things.
I know. It's exciting stuff.
The last few weeks. So I just, for some reason, got a little just niche to want to play the Mass Effect games. I've owned the Legendary Edition for, I don't know, 4 years, probably. I probably bought it like a year after it came out. Because I never played them originally. I had a few buddies that played them back in the day on Xbox, but I just never picked them up. So I played the first one a good couple years ago. My save didn't transfer because I played it on PS4. Now that I have a PS5, that didn't transfer over. So I just started on Mass Effect 2 and did the catch-up comic thing, which was really cool, actually. I didn't expect that to be a thing. It was
oh my gosh, yes. So
a very storytelling recap of the first game. It brought it all back. It was oh my god, that was so cool.
Funny story about that. So I beat Mass Effect 1 and then a few days later I started 2. Austin was at my house when I started 2. He has no idea what Mass Effect is. So when I started 2, I was like, here, I'll do a story recap for you. And after the story recap, he was like, bro, that was low-key the best story recap I've ever seen. They do such a good job at it. It's so insane.
Good. Because it's not just all decision. It's literally 5 minutes of storytelling.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
4 minutes of storytelling decision.
It's literally just playing the game on speedrun.
It's an experience.
It is. It really is.
It's so good.
They can make a whole game just like that, honestly.
Oh, I would. I don't know if they've ever actually if they released the comics with those,
dude,
with
the
awesome. Legendary Edition. I don't know if they ever did that, but if they did, I'm gonna find out. And if they haven't, and this ever gets out to the world, again, I'm putting it out there just like I want to be in the next Horizon game. If it's ever in the world, I want the comic books of the Mass Effect games because those recaps are so cool.
You should be cast as, oh god, what's his name? Aaron's brother.
Oh,
is that his name? Is that his name?
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
You should be cast as Aaron's brother. That's what.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I would be okay with that. Anyway, so I've been playing the Mass Effect games. I beat Mass Effect 2. It took me about 50 hours to beat Mass Effect 2. Because I did just about everything in it that I could, all the DLCs. Tried my hardest to get everybody loyal. I got all but one person loyal right at the end, and that person actually ended up surviving, but someone else died. So that was unfortunate. So I didn't get the everybody lives achievement, so that was unfortunate. But that was really good. I dove right into Mass Effect 3, ported my game over. Kept all the same stuff, kept the character creation the same way from the port. I actually thought the ported character actually looked better than, obviously it did look because 2 to 3. But after a while I didn't really love my creation on 2. After a while I was like, man, I kind of wish I would have made him different. But he actually looks pretty decent in 3, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Kept all the same class. I just went with soldier, just typical, standard military one. But I'm 20 hours, 25 hours into Mass Effect 3 now, so I'm just chipping away. I'm just chipping away at some video games.
You just texted me that 5 days ago. What the heck?
Yeah, that's all I do, bro. That's all I do. But yeah,
that though. Me with Wukong needs to be studied. It's 50 hours in 3 days. I don't even know how I did that.
And then I also I'm about 12 hours or so into Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one.
That's right.
I'm having a decent time with it. I'm committed to being good at it because I went back and watched, because I remember a content creator that I liked played it when it came out, and I thought it looked interesting, but I never bought it, never got into it, because I'd heard that it was hard. I'd always heard that. But I just forgot all about it, and I went back and watched some of his videos on it, and thankfully they weren't too spoilery, and it was like, man, this game looks like it can get so good if you get good at it. And I'm grinding away at it. Parts of it make me mad because I'm like, what do I do? I don't understand. This is too real sometimes, but it's fun. I think the story is pretty good so far. So I've been having a blast playing both of those titles, but I keep chipping back away at Mass Effect. I did start a new character in Baldur's Gate with my uncle, just because we were playing one day, hanging out, and he died within the first like 30 minutes of the game.
Sorry,
like,
died, I'm not gonna lie, bro, as soon as you said that, I don't know why, but I thought like you said your uncle died. I was like, I don't know.
He just keelhauled.
Bro,
he's out.
I don't know why just the way that sentence flowed. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, funny. So I was letting him make all of the decisions, and I don't know if it's a bug or if it's actually just what happens. But basically, there's a part where you run into the Mind Flayer in the crashed ship at the very beginning, and you can give in to the power, and he just kept like allowing it to give in, and it killed him. And then it was just gray screen with a skull, and I couldn't do anything. And I was like, "Well, congrats, we made it a quarter mile into the map, and you game over."
Wow.
So that was a little fun experience. It's been a minute since I'd played any Baldur's Gate, so that was fun. But yeah, primarily Mass Effect and Kingdom Come, but Mass Effect more than anything. I have such a huge respect for the franchise. I wish I wouldn't have waited so long to play it, especially as long as I've owned the Legendary Edition, and I never sat there and played them. But I respect the titles so much that like we got these at work. And I bought them all hard copy.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
I went and I beat the second one, and we got these. Somebody came and traded in a whole bunch of 360 games.
Awesome.
And they had those. I also bought Fable 2 and Fable 3.
Oh, cool.
Right. So yeah, no, but I respect the franchise already so much that I'm like, I'm buying those hard copies.
I'm getting a little foreshadowing for a future topic on this podcast, I feel like.
Yeah, you think?
Maybe. I predict yes. But no, that's awesome.
Out, huh?
That's awesome.
We'll find out, huh?
Was there any like a specific game award announcement that got you a little antsy for it?
No.
Love it.
No, because I felt like it was a very good game reveal for a certain kind of person. And I'm not the kind of person that it appealed to all too much as far as like the actual announcements. There were a couple of them that look good. I'm hoping Naughty Dog's game is good. I also can't 100% remember all of them.
The Witcher.
Off the top of my head. I know there was The Witcher. That was probably the biggest one for me. The Witcher, for which I'm super pumped for. I think going the Siri direction, I'm on board with that more than anything.
I agree. I don't even like Witcher like that, but I agree with that.
I think if they've just improved the mechanics even more and they make Siri even more fun, because you play as Siri a little bit in 3. And if they make that even more fun and just advance it, I mean, I think it's great. And I've only played 3. Like I didn't play 1 or 2. I was a little surprised that 4 was the announcement initially whenever they said something about it, like even before the awards, because I heard a while ago they were remastering 1 and 2.
Yes.
Like going through like a remake of those. Yeah. So hearing that they were doing a 4th title was like, oh.
I think they are still doing those remakes as well.
I think so too. But yeah. I guess it'd just be a little long, but I'm fine with a 4th one as opposed to a remaster just as well. So I just kind of wanted to get an idea of what 1 and 2 were like, because 1 was only PC.
Yeah.
And if I can get it remastered and on my PS5, let's go. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, I feel that.
But apart from that, Rebirth OST, the most well-deserved award ever.
I agree. Low key, honestly.
Game of the year, I slightly disagree that it won, but I don't hate that it did. But okay, it's fine. I'm biased. I am biased. I'm biased. It's fine.
We all have our biases.
It's fine.
I mean, mine was Black Myth Wukong.
Astrobot, yeah. Astrobot was very good. Was very, 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 very good. So
yeah, can't be mad at it. Yeah, so I've had quite the eventful December, early January. I've played more of Indiana Jones, and I said this on a stream last night. The more I play of Indiana Jones, the better I think it is. Like, not even like the more I like it.
I just haven't taken like any of it in. I haven't even watched like any content.
When it comes to PS5, that's a game you should try out.
I plan to,
because it genuinely is like it's just a very good like made game. Like it's just super polished. The design is just super clever. Like it really is just such a great game. Is it like my typical like forte of game? No. For like me, I would say it's like an A tier game for me. But like genuinely, like that game is like I honestly really can't point out many flaws, if any. Like it's just super well made. And the more new areas I go, the more they just continue to like innovate and like build on what like happened in the earlier areas. And I'm just like, man, they really just thought of everything in this game. So it's a very, very good game.
Good deal.
And I've played Dragon Age again. Practically. Yes. So what's funny is I did that second playthrough with my sister. Because I wanted for her to play because I figured she would like it. And here's where a funny story. This is probably honestly the most eventful thing that's happened to me since the last podcast. I have fully transformed my sister into a gamer now.
I was part of that.
Yes, you were part of that, actually. Literally, so we start playing Dragon Age, and
not from the influence, just I was a part of it.
Right. I'll explain that. I'll explain that. But she started playing Dragon Age, and I wanted her to play it because she likes games where you create your own character and where you make decisions. And I'm like, that sounds like a game I just played. So I was like, yo, you need to play Dragon Age The Veilguard. Game's awesome, but by the way. And she started playing it, and we
recommend Baldur's Gate to her? Just side note.
Yes, she actually asked about that because she was exploring the store, and she asked about it. And I told her, I mean, it won Game of the Year, and it's a very good game. Like, talk about decisions and like having a lot of things to do. That game is jam packed.
Decisions and consequences.
Yes. But anyway, we play about like 4 to 5 hours on the first day. The next day, I come home from work, and I open my door, and I just see her on the couch playing it. And I'm like, what do you think you're doing? And she was like, just exploring and doing stuff. And so we ended up playing more of Dragon Age, and it got to the point where, like, when she beat the game, she told me she immediately wanted to do it again. And I was like, man, isn't it crazy how things like this happen? And she even went so far as she went to Nashville like the day after we beat it. Apparently she was doing like research on all the different possibilities on the drive there. And I'm just like, oh boy, what have I done? So then we went to dinner one day. And me and her were telling my parents and stuff like how much she loved this game, and we just started like talking about the idea of getting her an Xbox, because we had that idea for a while because we liked playing WWE, and every time she'd come over, we'd always play a game or something. Well, so we actually ended up, because of Dragon Age, being like, I think we actually should get you an Xbox or something. So we started talking about it, and then we started deciding, all right, which one should we get? Should we get a Series S? Should we get a Series X? We started going over all the pros and cons. And I originally was just going to get her a Series S because it's cheap, and, I mean, she's not, like, a hardcore gamer, like, whatever. Well, we ended up deciding on a Series X because of the disk drive and the more storage, and just it's an overall better console. And then at that point, whenever we decided on the Series X, I was like, well, at that point, for the same price, you could just get a PS5. And she was like, well, what's the difference? And I'm like, pretty much just the exclusives. And Game Pass is on Xbox. And she was like, well, what are the exclusives? And as soon as she asked that question, I knew for a fact we were going to go with the PlayStation. Because I told her Uncharted, God of War, Horizon, Last of Us. And she's like, and she loves those games. So as soon as I said that, she was like, I think I want a PS5. And so I was like, okay. So we went to GameStop directly after that. And Jordan's at Game GameStop, and we just start exploring, and he checked out my what's the word? Checked out? Yeah, he sold he sold the PlayStation that is now owned by my sister to us. And so yeah, I bought my sister a PS5. She bought herself a bunch of games. I convinced her to buy Dead Space, which is hilarious. She actually played the first hour when she was at my house, and it was hilarious.
I can imagine.
And yeah, it was just a great time. But she's low-key addicted. She even went out and bought Dragon Age Inquisition, which is very cool. So yeah, it was just a very, very eventful thing that you don't hear that from many people. Like, I got my sibling to be a gamer. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very cool. But other than that,
awesome.
I've played a good chunk of Stellar Blade. I've played
nice.
I've played like an hour of Metaphor ReFantazio. I played like Pacific Drive. Been playing Marvel Rivals. I'm probably might have an all-nighter tonight because season 1 starts tonight, and I'm very excited for that.
Okay. Thought it was tomorrow.
I mean, it is, but it's like 1 a.m. So I'm just gonna be like,
okay.
yeah, I might just do it on it. We'll see.
I got you.
But yeah, I've just been catching up on all the games I haven't played. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we're here. 2025. A lot of things going on.
Is there maybe a particular game you wanted to talk about for a minute? Or?
Oh, yeah. One other thing I did over December was I finished a game. A game that Jordan has no idea what it is. No idea.
No. Not a clue.
Nope. Hey, actually, he probably does know it, but he absolutely hates it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So here's the thing with this game, right? This game came out in February.
Beat it so quick too. You beat it in 34 hours. It's too quick, John. That's too.
Listen, all right.
It's too quick. PlayStation tells me everything, by the way.
Dude, I hate PlayStation.
You did you. That's not. That's too little of time.
It is really fast. I'm not gonna lie. But
you ran through that game.
But personally, to me, I think that's better. I think I liked it better that way because I personally do not like games that have like a lot of filler.
I know.
But I will say
my bread and butter.
We're gonna talk about.
Give me stuff.
We're gonna talk. But anyway,
give me stuff.
Hey,
I want so much stuff to do.
I feel that, but like not when it comes to the main story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want a main story completely bloated. I would like a main story and then a bunch of extra stuff outside of that. I don't think a main story should be bloated. The rest of the game can't.
Such a good job at melding it all together.
Oh, I all right. Listen. All right. So anyway, FF7 Rebirth came out in February of 2024. I played about the first 5-6 hours maybe of the game when it came out. It was just unfortunately a really bad time where I like wasn't like super like into like playing games, or I was just doing a bunch of other things, or there was a bunch of other games coming out, just a bunch of other things I was excited for and doing, to the point where I was like, do I really want to commit to like this 50-hour game right now, even though I didn't even spend 50 hours, but do I really want to commit to that right now? And I was like, honestly, I'll just wait until the time is right. Well, the time didn't come until December of this year, like literally a month ago.
As long as it happens.
Hey, and let me tell you, I'm so glad I did that, because I guarantee you, if I would have forced myself to do it in February, I would not have liked it as much. Because what happened is, like, over the months, especially like after I beat Black Myth Wukong, which was a 50-hour game, I enjoyed that so much. I was like, man, I kind of do want another game that I could just sink like a ton of hours into. And I was like, I remember I still have to beat Final Fantasy. And it was at that moment I was like, oh, actually, now might be a time. But unfortunately, we were in the fall and holiday season where everything starts releasing. So I was like, well, I can't play right now because I have a bunch of other things I'm going to have to play. But since everything released in December, I was like, all right, finally, now I can play it. And it absolutely hit all the notes I wanted it to. I'm super glad I waited because I was in the mood for it, and it was satisfying the mood, in a way. But yeah, we're gonna talk about FF7 Rebirth because I haven't done a review on the channel, which there's no point. It's like almost a year old at this point.
Sure.
But we are gonna talk about it. Have a nice little discussion. Who knows how long this will be? I think it depends on how much Jordan wants to glaze it. I think that'll be the key factor here. But yeah, we're gonna talk about FF7 Rebirth because there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
But I guess I'll go ahead and.
Is there anywhere? Yeah. Is there anywhere particularly you want to start with?
Well, I'll just go ahead and give you my overall thoughts. My overall thoughts. I think the game is phenomenal. I don't think there's any. I really don't think you can even argue against it. Even if you don't like FF7, like if you're somebody like Austin who likes FF16 or thinks FF16 is just better, I think you're wrong. But you know, I respect your opinion.
And I think FF16 is good. I like FF16. I do.
But no, I think almost anybody who at least knows what FF7 is, like, it's so hard to argue against the fact that it's just phenomenal. Like, its world, its music, like, I've said it so many times, its music is, like, I genuinely think it has the best OST of all time, full stop. Like, not even just game OST. I'm talking movies, I'm talking anything. Like, I genuinely think it has the best OST of all time.
Very good. So good.
There's just so many tracks, and all of them feel so specifically placed to heighten every moment. Like, everything is just perfection when it comes to that OST. I think the amount of innovation this game does, I will say I agree with you now in the fact that game direction at the Game Awards should have gone to FF7 Rebirth, because the way they innovate with all the mini games and stuff like that is insane. I've never seen a game have that much, like, mini games. Like, there's so many games within a game. Like, it's crazy.
There are games. There are mini games in that game that could be their own indie releases.
Yes.
And would sell.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's easy. And I cannot wait to see what additional ones they add to the third one on top of the inevitable snowboarding one they're gonna add.
Yeah.
From the original that was broke down in Rebirth. Spoilers. There's no spoilers anymore. I guess we don't need to give the ending away, but there's going to be stuff that we're going to talk about. If you haven't played it yet, I don't know what to do anymore.
Spoiler warning. There you go. So now we can talk.
Let's just not talk about the end, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm about to make a hot take here. I'm going to save the hot take because I feel like when I make it, we're going to have a discussion on it. So I'm going to make a... Okay. All right, but anyway. No, the game is absolutely phenomenal. I think the gameplay changes that they've made this time around are, like, the synergy stuff, dude. Oh, dude, I love the synergy abilities. They're so fun.
Did you upgrade a lot of them in Folios to unlock new ones and stuff?
Yes, because that was one thing I want to do is, like, get a whole bunch of abilities and, like, synergy
now
stuff, because they're so fun.
With the synergies, did you utilize them both ways, where they're like the quick time ones and then the ones where you have to do your own ATB moves and build up the status? Like, did you do both of them, or did you only do one? Because there's two of them. So if you're just, like, in battle, right, you can, like, hold L1 for block. And on your left, you'll have, like, square, triangle, circle.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got you.
Okay, yes, because there's that synergy, and then there's the synergy there's the synergy abilities that have, like, the cinematic.
Okay, I definitely use the cinematics one 10 times more. I will say that one.
Sure.
But I did use the L1s a couple times. It was very rare because I kind of just kept on forgetting about it. Until I was, like, blocking and then saw it, and I was like, oh, I can do that. Yeah.
If and inevitably when you go back and play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I highly recommend utilizing that more, because you like unlock like different ones of those. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah. No, I generally like. And look, here's a conversation I'm gonna have it real quick. This isn't the hot take. by the way. I mean, it might be for some people. Personally, FF16 didn't necessarily live up to my hype. I don't think it's a bad game. I would say it's good.
I had it a lot more hyped up in my mind because of how much I liked 15. Because mind you, and I only played Royal, so I played it when it was like improved and like some stuff added and some additions and like things there where it was like the better experience, whereas opposed to launch, it was like a crappy sort of time.
Yeah.
And because I think of how much I enjoyed 15 and then how much I enjoyed Remake and how much I enjoyed learning some of the lore and like gameplay of like the other ones, I also definitely had 16 like overhyped in my mind a little bit. But honestly, like stepping away from it after not playing it for a little bit and then like sort of really hearing other people's takes and perspectives on it too, like really changed my opinion on like where it is. So like after all this time, I've developed like a much better relationship with like 16 and respect for it. But
interesting.
Continue, sorry.
But no, like to me, it's a 7 out of 10 game. To me, it's a 7 out of 10. Like I don't think it's bad by any means. Like I think if you call it bad or just like Final Fantasy, like it's like lowest point, I think that's complete cap. I just don't think it does anything particularly special that you can't find in any other Final Fantasy game outside of what I think is my overall consensus of the game is that I think the concept and the characters of 16 are its best part, 100%. To me, I think where it falls flat is just the game design execution in terms of level design, progression, and like enemy variety, and like the way they implement combat. The combat itself is fine. Like it's a simple hack and slash action game.
I really enjoy the combat on it.
No, I think it's fine. No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, because the story, the characters, and the combat are like the things that hold it up for me the most.
Yeah, see, and it's not even the like. This is really hard to explain. It's not even the combat itself. It's like the role it plays in the game, I guess. Because like if you look at, I mean, just for instance, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you have synergies, you have materia, you have like loads and loads of like layers on layers on layers on layers on layers on layers of gameplay stuff. Whereas 16 is kind of just your typical like, hey, you have a cool ability, use it. You can upgrade your sword. You can do a bunch of things. You don't really use your companions. You like rarely. You don't like. It kind of is just a Devil May Cry. It looks cool and it feels good, and I think that is fine. But I think like at least when comparing it to like FF7 Rebirth, when there are layers on layers on layers on layers of gameplay, it may not be the most flashy thing in the world, which it is pretty flashy. But it's I just think
agree to disagree on the flashy.
Yeah, actually. But no, it's not the fact that I think FF16's gameplay is bad. I just think the role it plays, it doesn't do anything that stands out from any other hack and slash, is what I'm trying to say in a way. But I think it's solid. I don't think it's bad or anything. But anyway, what I was gonna say, I don't even know how we even got there, to be honest with you.
Well, you were gonna say hot take, and then you kind of
okay. Yes, here's the hot take. Here's the hot take.
Yeah.
Queen's Blood is better than Gwent.
I fully agree, mainly because I sucked at Gwent. I tried so hard to learn, even like in like going back and playing like the early combatants in the Gwent, like before it gets harder late game, and like it's just for some reason like I just never got good at it. I don't know what it was about it. Could have just been me. What? Gwent is the card game in Witcher 3. Yep. And then Queen's Blood is the card game in Rebirth. Austin. Yep. And Austin, all you missed was recaps, essentially.
Yeah. Tradition.
ketchup, and mustard. Anyway, I've been playing Mass Effect and Kingdom Come Deliverance, and John's been playing a whole bunch of stuff. But you guys talk a little more often, so you might know a little more what he's playing than me. But that's pretty much it. Now we're talking about Rebirth, and how much better it is than every game on the planet. I'm just kidding.
Astrobot might have something to say about that.
It might. Yeah, but no, dude. Queen's Blood is so good. Queen's Blood is my favorite part of the side games.
Oh my gosh, for real.
Like my second playthrough, Baldur's Gate 3 has entered the chat, and I respect all of them for their own reasons. Baldur's Gate 3 is really good. But yeah, no, Queen's Blood. Love
Listen,
Queen's Blood. Every time I get to
can I just call Queen's Blood game
and I instantly yes, you can.
Can I just call Queen's Blood game of the year, please?
Yeah, it's on the same. It's on the same bar as Shadow of the Erdtree. Queen's Blood.
Hey,
hot take.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I'll take Queen's Blood over Balatro, bro. Come on now, let's go.
I would. Yes. I would personally.
Yes.
I would. A fully fledged thing is like then they'd make it competitive, like with or
I'll
it'd be like
honest
player
with you.
versus player, and I probably suck.
For some, from somebody who has like 30 hours in Balatro now, I can't believe that game got nominated for game of the year. I'll be honest with you. I think that's crazy. Like, okay,
I haven't played it.
It's a fun game. It is addicting. That's it. Like,
I think it's just I think it's just the respect that it's just like one guy that did it, and it's like a launch title. I don't know.
I guess, but there's a lot of other games that made one. I'm not trying to like downplay it or anything, but like I just think game of the year is crazy. Best indie game, 100%. Like best debut, if it even was debut, like 100%. That's crazy to me. Like it really is just poker. Like that's really it with just power ups and stuff. But I don't know. It's crazy to me. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
back to FF7 Rebirth. So yeah. Anyway, if I had to give a score on Rebirth, here is my like. If I was to do a review, here is my closing statement. This game, number one, has the greatest OST of all time, 100%. Number two, the cast of characters in FF7 Rebirth is almost uncomparable. Number three, yes, Austin, it is a game.
It is one of the games of all time.
Number three, it is one of the most layered and complex gameplay of of any game. I'm talking mini games, I'm talking combat, I'm talking exploration, I'm talking everything. There are layers on layers. I mean, we're talking like a triple decker chocolate cake over here. Like we're talking crazy layers. Here's what I will say though. I like Remake better though. I do like Remake better. And that is not in the case of I'm saying Remake is better. I'm just saying for the games I personally enjoy, which ones would I like replay over the other? I would prefer Remake. One reason and one reason only. Remake is linear. And I'm much more of a linear person than I am open world. And my biggest problem with Rebirth, which is a pro for you, and I completely respect it, and I agree with you in a sense. There is bloat in the game, which is why I kind of just shied away from it and just straight lined it. But if I had to get a final score on the game, here's what I'll say, which is because when I finished the game, I had a score. But it's funny, as soon as I started playing other games after that, I started to realize how far ahead FF7 is than so many other games. Like there's levels to this crap. Like there is. My original score for FF7 Rebirth was a 9 out of 10. It's got to be a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's just because it's not something I love like that.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed. I really, really enjoyed it because to me, remake is dang near a 10 out of 10. Like, I absolutely love that. But like, when I'm talking production value, when I'm talking game design, when I'm talking OST, when I'm talking combat, when I'm talking gameplay, when I'm talking narrative, when I'm talking technical achievement, is there really any arguments against it? And the answer is no. Like I generally just don't think so. Regardless of how much I enjoyed every minute of it, because there are a lot of minutes where I'm not necessarily having the greatest time, or like I'm kind of wanting to go places something else. There are a lot of those for me personally. But for every minute where it is hitting, it is hitting. It is hitting. Like, I think I cried like 4 times. I think there were multiple times where I low-key just started, like, clapping in person because I was, like, cheering on something going on in the game. There are so many highs. Like, I think I tweeted this when I was playing. I'm like, just when the game starts to feel like it's getting slow, they hit you with the most god tier scene of all time. Like, like every single time, like every chapter, it, like, starts off awesome. Then you have like a little down part, and then it just gets so freaking awesome. And then it goes a little bit down, and then it gets so freaking awesome again. And it to me, that's how it felt. It's like, here's the baseline for it, and it goes like that, and then like that, baseline. Like, I don't think it ever is any point bad. I just think there are so many exceptional moments with a lot of just in between solid good stuff.
Sure.
And if you like open world games, if you like JRPGs, this game is like one of the best games ever. Facts. Like, that's just how it is.
What would you say was your favorite and least favorite zone?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because I can definitely tell you my least favorite zone. But it's only it's purely exploration.
I'm gonna say my least favorite. Like, my least favorite was probably the first area with the swamp.
Grasslands?
With the swamp. No, I don't know if you would consider the swamp the same area. Is the swamp the same area? Okay, yeah. I didn't like that.
Because the swamp's the end of the grasslands, and then you get to Junon.
I don't think I like the grasslands.
Dude, the grasslands was so good.
My favorite. That's tough. That's a tough one. Off rip, I'm thinking Golden Saucer, but like that's like, come on now. You know what I mean?
The Golden Saucer was incredible though, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, like it's jaw dropping.
Yeah.
The amount of things that they shoved in it.
The mines. Yeah, the Mithril. The Mithril mines, Austin. Good part.
I don't know what my favorite is. I'll be honest with you.
I really like the exploration in Junon a lot. And then I liked Costa del Sol and the area around Corel.
Ooh, I did like Costa del Sol. Oh, dude, yeah. Actually, that might be my favorite.
Yeah,
that
Costa del Sol, like conversion into Corel and like the Johnny stuff in Corel Prison.
Yes.
Golden Saucer, that sort of all being sort of like right there middle of the game for me. Like, it's probably my favorite zone.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Plays a pretty close second to me, mainly just because the grassland, like, you know, Calm being there, and then like you escape Calm and you get into it, and like you learn Queen's Blood, and yeah, dude,
I will say, I will say. When I played through Grasslands, that was in that moment where like I wasn't necessarily in the mood, or I was just playing it because it just came out. I wonder if I was to like play it when I was in the mood enjoying the game, if I would feel differently. I probably would. But
yeah.
along the same line, let's talk about who our favorite character was and who our least favorite character was.
I don't have a least favorite character.
Ooh, see, I do. I 100% do.
I love them all for their own reasons, even the bad ones. Hojo is the perfect Hojo. He's exactly who he needs to be.
My favorite character 100% is Barrett. Barrett.
Barrett's
oh
so
my
good.
gosh,
His
Barrett
voice actor
made me cry
deserved a little
twice.
more love too.
He made me cry twice, and I think the reason I loved him so much in this game is honestly I just wasn't expecting it. 100%.
Oh yeah. No, Barrett makes a nice turn.
I had no idea Barrett could get you so emotional and make you feel for him so much. Like, God, just thinking about it. Like, this dude's voice actor is insane. Like, he has the most deep voice, like, dang near deeper than Kratos, bro, at times. Like, this dude is deep. And then when he starts getting emotional, like, you could just feel it in his voice. And then, like, sometimes he, like, does these huge emotional screams, and it's just like, he really killed it for me. Like, he really was super duper awesome.
Very good.
Yeah. I also really, I ended up really liking Red 13 and Cait Sith.
Oh, yeah. Not like Heat.
Yes. Cait Sith, what a roller coaster of a character.
Oh, I know, right?
Because
I know, right?
I as soon as he was first introduced, I'm like, I'm not gonna like this character. He is gonna be annoying. And then he starts growing on you, and you're like, okay,
he gets so charming.
Okay, he's funny. He gets
so charming.
And then he reaches the charming stage, like, oh, this dude's so nice. That's my dog for real. And then spoiler alert. And then and then I'm like, I hate
he does
this guy.
What he does.
Yeah, and then I hate him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. What a
guess
stupid
what?
character.
And then guess what?
And then at the end, you're like, that's my dog.
Guess what happened?
That's
and
my
they lift
dog.
him right back up.
Oh man, dude! Like, what a roller coaster of a character, man. Red 13. I loved him in the first half of the game. I just really liked him in the second half because, all right, this is a hot take. I prefer his deep voice over his high pitch voice any day of the week.
Mature Red was a bit cooler, I guess.
Yeah, he's so cool.
I like the teenage age.
It's not bad. I just
Red.
prefer the mature one.
Sure. Fun fact: same guy, voice actor, same guy, doing both voices. Fun fact, just so you know,
impressive.
He does both. He sounds a little bit more mature than the teenage voiced Red, if I'm not mistaken, but he does both voices. Okay. if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, fun fact.
Okay. Now my least favorite character. This is gonna be a hot take. It's actually Cloud. It's actually Cloud, and it's not to say because he's a bad character. Like, honestly, I say he's my least favorite, but I still really like him. Like, that just goes to show you how great this cast of characters is. Even my least favorite is super duper solid. I just think the only reason I don't like Cloud, which is funny because I love Cloud as a character, just in this game specifically, in Rebirth specifically, I just wasn't crazy for him, and I think it's just because of where his character is at in his arc.
I think that's intentional too. I
think it is.
I think that's 100% something that they're meaning to do. They're meaning to make you, because a lot of this sort of stuff happens. Well, I mean, damn near everything happens in the OG. They're just adding so much more context to it, and they're adding feelings to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they are adding negative context to so many things from Cloud's side, and it's really making you wonder, like, what in the world is up with this dude? Playing through it, it's like, my first time going through it was like, dude, Cloud is on some stuff. They're either going to change something drastically.
Slap this guy?
Yeah, they're either going to change something drastically, or somebody's going to, put him into perspective soon, because this guy is like teetering a line that I didn't see them going to such an extreme. I should have, though. As crazy and like twisted as they were already making him in Remake. Yeah. I can only see it. And spoiler. No spoilers, but it's only going to get worse in part 3, Cloud. So yeah.
But he's also gonna get so much cooler, though.
He also will, or he won't, or they'll make him out to be such a little punk at the end. Who knows? Who knows? They may make Cloud like I don't like him at the end of it. He was awful. Let me play as Tifa.
Oh my god, Tifa's awesome. Tifa's like, good. Dude, there's so many S tier characters in this game.
I really like them all. My second playthrough, I think I grew a lot more accustomed to liking Yuffie more.
Ooh, okay, that was someone I wasn't crazy for.
Right, and I still wasn't so much in my first playthrough, mainly because like I was really trying to get the Tifa date. Which we'll talk about the date here in a minute. But mainly because I was really trying to get the Tifa date, so I was kind of like, brushing off Yuffie for everything. But I'm kind of just playing it like neutral. I was playing it a little more neutral on my second playthrough to sort of just see what happens if I just treat everybody fairly the same. Try to go for the best answers for everybody on everything. Mm-hmm. And then just sort of see what happens, but. I haven't got to the second date yet, so the second like actual date. Okay, we can get to the dates later, because that's gonna be a topic. God, we should have just made this a Rebirth podcast. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We can stop if you want. All you have to do is say something.
No, we'll go for a little bit longer.
But yeah, Yuffie on my second playthrough, I've liked a lot more. But my first one, she was probably the one I felt most disconnected with on my first playthrough. Everybody else because they have I say that I think it's because I played the DLC of Remake literally right before Rebirth dropped, so like I felt like a real strong connection with Yuffie, and then she sort of takes a bit of a back seat a little bit. Obviously late game there's her trial, which adds a little more context.
Oh my gosh, the trials. Yeah, oh, what a S tier scene in any video game. Holy moly.
All so good.
Gosh. Like, honestly, bro, I was thinking about it. There are certain moments in just, like, products where it's just like, are they just trying to, like, flex right now? Yes. Like, that was the moment where I was like, bro, this game is just flexing its cast of characters. Like, it's literally telling you, ain't nobody got this many characters that have this emotional weight to it. Like, it was literally just a flex moment because it was just going from banger to banger to banger to banger to banger. Like, oh man, so great.
Yeah, so good. Every single moment on it was pretty fantastic. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily have a favorite or least favorite. I guess if I had to choose, I don't know. I would probably. I don't know, man.
Kate said that. I can't get over it. Oh.
I think, honestly enough, mine's probably Cloud, just because his character development is so wild.
Your favorite?
Just say Chocobo. Well, if I had to like cop out and pick one, I'd probably say Cloud. If I really like sat and like deeply thought about it, man, Tifa probably. If I like really wanted to like step out of bounds, I liked Tifa's approach to things. I liked her live stream scene where with the weapon was so good. I like her. I like her as a teammate a lot. She's fun to synergy with.
That scene right there.
So. They're all so good. Oh, there he is, the man.
Oh, I can't wait to play Vincent. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so
Matt
awesome.
Mercer.
Oh man,
can't wait to hear Matt Mercer so much.
It's gonna be great.
I'll say my most shocking character for me was probably Sid. I didn't expect Sid to be that way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sid's kind of. At least I got the impression that.
What a L. Sorry, I missed this. Sorry, I'm seeing that. Sorry. Side
Are you looking at the package?
It's the collector's edition for Rebirth.
I know what it is.
It was
online only. I wasn't able to get it.
I've recently gotten an addiction to collector's edition. Like, I love collector's editions.
Yeah, I would give anything for that.
I would have totally gotten this.
For that statue.
Dude, that's so hard. Oh my gosh! All right,
I do have.
Comes with OST too.
I do have everything else though.
Oh yeah.
I have everything there. I have 2 of everything there, but the statue.
Wow.
And the game, of course. I only have 1 copy of the game, but I have 2
right.
steel books. I have 2 OSTs. I have 2 of the art books.
Okay.
So,
Look
I'm
at
a
you.
fan. I'm a fan. So we've pretty much established that Queen's Blood is probably our favorite mini game. Yeah.
Facts.
100%, right?
Yeah.
I want to know who you got for your first date and who you got for the date, the in-game date. I want to know. Did you get both for the same one?
Which one? Oh, now hold on, because I only got one, so I definitely messed up somewhere.
Dude, okay. I'm wondering if you did the same thing that I did it in my second playthrough.
Okay.
Okay, so
I had the Ferris wheel moment.
Right. Everybody does, but who did you have it with?
Tifa.
Okay, so your in-game date was Tifa.
Yes.
The one right before the final chapter.
Yes.
Tifa.
Yes.
Okay, who was it the first time when you first get to the Golden Saucer? Who came to your room to wake you up to go play mini games?
I think Aerith, honestly.
Is it? Okay.
I think it was Aerith.
So my first playthrough, it was backwards. So I was going for Tifa. I was shooting for the Tifa because that happens in the OG game too. I don't know if you remember. That happens in the OG game too. There's the date that you can get. On chapter 8 when you first get there, I had a Tifa date where she came and it introduced us to playing the mini games. And then my actual date in game for me was Aerith. Even though I was going for Tifa, I got Aerith. But I loved it because in game you basically have like a dialogue option because it's Aerith with her in game. That again we don't need to talk too much about to say why it's so special to say in game. But you get a conversation topic with her where you basically establish that like she's your gal. And she gets all giddy and says that she loves where you stand with her, and it's so good because I saw somebody else's playthrough where they didn't get Aerith, and that moment doesn't happen. So that was pretty cool. But dude, this time, my second playthrough, like I said, I haven't got to the second date yet on my second playthrough because I'm just sort of seeing what happens. I got nobody on my first date to the Golden Saucer.
Bro,
nobody
you're just not that guy.
Came to my door.
You're
nobody came to my door,
wow,
dude.
They don't
it was
care about you.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Because I even looked it up. I was like, what happens if nobody comes to your door? And everybody was like, you literally just weren't trying to get anybody. And it's funny, like I wasn't actually particularly trying for any one person. I was just doing the right conversation for every person.
Wow.
But yeah, nobody came to my door. So I'm playing all of the mini games by myself. Dude, it was so sad. It was so sad.
Wow. That's awesome.
The only one that I got to like interact with in the games is in the battle arena. Red is sitting in the lobby and he'll be your battle partner for the 2v2 battles.
Oh, wow.
But he's the only one that you can play games. Everything else is just you playing. So like nobody's there with you or anything. Did you do the Tonberry King bat fight? I'm guessing probably not then, since you didn't grind for Johnny's hotel.
Maybe. Wait, is it a mini game in Costa del Sol?
No.
Oh.
No.
Isn't that where Johnny's hotel is?
It is.
Oh, okay.
But in the Corel region.
You know what I did play, which I got kind of addicted to for a hot minute. Red 13 soccer game. Rocket League 2.0. Yeah. Rocket League 2.0, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you get all the high scores on everything?
No, I didn't play all of them, but I played a good chunk of them.
Okay. Did you pick modest or skimpy beach outfits?
it was a 2-piece. Are they both two pieces?
I think they are. They're 2 pieces for both of them. But like that also affects depending on like how Cloud dresses. So like if you put everybody in modest, like they complement each other later. But like if one wears skimpy and
no, I had Cloud get lost in not Tifa's eyes. That's a scene I had.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good scene, man. The Aerith. The Aerith one for a lot of people is always considered like canon plot to most, as far as like getting the Aerith date. But like Tifa is always considered as like, you know, the best girl for Cloud. But I guess, you know, plot wise, a lot of people would argue that like the Aerith date is the better plot one to go with. But like I said, that was because I was trying hard for Tifa. On that day, because that's the
I
one
was
that
too. I was
to go
trying for Tifa. I really was.
Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to go for, but I ended up with Aerith, and I didn't regret it. It was very good.
Yeah.
It makes them, and like I said, it makes one of the in-game conversations.
So
pretty cool.
We have just passed an hour, so we're gonna wrap up this topic.
That's fine.
We might have to come back to this. Yep. We can always come back to this.
We can always come back. I can do a rebirth.
But I will end on this.
One for ages. But...
I will end on this. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but I'll give you my thoughts on the ending. The final fight, epic, awesome, no complaints, amazing. I did not cry at the ending.
I'm gonna spoil one thing about the boss fight.
Okay.
Nothing like a 10-phase boss fight.
Oh, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. You know what I mean? The ending did not make me cry, I will say. But my God, was it so beautiful? It's just a beautiful, like it. Then you're watching a beautiful movie, straight up. It was just immaculate. That was because I'm personally just not really a fan of Aerith. Not even like the execution of the character. I'm just not really a fan of her. But she won my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
In the end, because it was just a feel good moment. You know, it was kind of just a feel good moment. But
it really was.
Yeah, amazing game, phenomenal game. I mean, genuinely deserving of at least the game of the year nomination for sure. But yeah. All right. Anything else to add? Because I know this is your game. One last moment to glaze.
The animation change for the cinematics is one of the coolest things that I wish more games would do.
Okay. Interesting.
Because, you know, like the gold saucer scene and the very last scene where like the animation goes to that really
I know what you mean.
Awesome
like
detailed
Advent
stuff.
Children type stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but better.
Yeah.
15 also did that a bunch where they jumped between the like anime.
16 does that too, I'm pretty sure.
That they did for it. Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
No, actually it doesn't. 16 purely went off of their graphics. That was something they did intentionally, actually, because there was a question, I believe, that I looked up on like a forum for that. But no, yeah, because if I get on a topic, I'll just want to keep going. So I'll just say the cinematic animations, when they up the ante, make the game look amazing. That if you're not gonna play the game, just get on the best possible screen that you possibly can and find the best quality video of it and just watch Rebirth Golden Saucer intro. And just full screen it on the best quality screen, on the highest quality that you can. Awesome. And just watch how good that is. It's so incredible with the dance number and Kate Sith and the fireworks. So good. So good. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So we're going to move on to our next topic. Now, the question is, do you want to do our ranking first, or do you want to talk about the Xbox Direct first?
So I've almost got nothing for the Xbox. I'm excited for a couple of the ones that are announced, but
okay.
I don't know. All
right. We can start with that.
I feel like I'm not personally as hyped for as many titles this year as some are.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of them for me are sort of like toss-ups until we get there.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
I don't know.
I mean, it happens.
So,
all right. Well, then we'll do the Xbox.
The list. Yeah.
Oh, okay. you want to do the ranking then?
Oh yeah, well yeah, actually yeah. Let's just get the direct.
Okay, yeah. We'll just blow through it pretty quickly.
So that first, yeah.
A Xbox Developer Direct was announced today for January 23rd, I do believe. Right?
Yeah. Rebirth day.
Yeah. For January 23rd, it is going to feature Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Claire Obscur, Expedition 33, and a surprise location from a studio showing a new game. I'm super hyped. I'm personally super hyped for this. I personally love the developer directs Xbox has done the past couple years. Each time they've done a remarkable job, and all the games they've shown they've always showed a lot of good stuff, and we've always just gotten a lot of great information. Has always gotten you kind of hyped for the year for Xbox. This year, low-key might be the best one because the games they have here, every single one of them, I think I'm hyped for. Doom: The Dark Ages, 100%. I mean, it's like my second most anticipated game right now.
I really wish I was a lot more of a Doom guy. I need to go back and play Doom Eternal or something. I think it's on.
Yeah, it's on. I don't know about that. I don't know. South of Midnight, I think it could be a very, very special game. It is a new IP, so you got to have a little bit of question mark there. But from everything we've seen, it looks super duper awesome. I'm very, very, very excited for that one. And then Expedition 33, I think also has a lot of potential. This one is definitely the biggest question mark in terms of like how good it'll be because it's coming from a pretty much, for the most part, it's a debut game from a studio. They're basically taking a formula that has been dominated by Atlas for a long time. They're trying to make it their own. And it's just a very new and unique concept that I'm personally all on board for. I think it looks really great. Very interesting.
I will say, even though it's not typically been like, I mean, I've played Persona and I played a little bit of Metaphor, and there's a couple of turn-based stuff I've gotten into a little more over the last few years. Apart from like Fable for me, which they didn't say anything about that. Mm-hmm. Apart from Fable for me, like I think that one out of that list is probably the one for me that looks the most interesting.
Cool.
Mainly because I think of everything they're doing around it. Like I can be okay with turn-based games. It's not usually my style to do turn-based combat. So like I always don't stick with those games usually for some reason. But that game looks like they're doing turn-based a little bit differently too, because I've seen like the dodges and the parries.
Yeah, so it's a real time.
If that's like skill-based too. So
yeah, so it is a real-time turn-based game. Wrap that around your head, I guess. Like it's
cool.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what that's going to be like. I just need to get an Xbox to do so.
Yeah, right. Well, it's also going to be on PS5. Just
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's just going to be on Game Pass, so it's like you can either spend 50, or you can play it on Game Pass. And then we got a surprise game from a different studio that hasn't been announced, and a new game. Yeah, like I said, I'm very, really excited for this one because those are three games that are like pretty high on my most anticipated list. And then there is a surprise game, which I think it's one of two things. Either it's Double Fine's next game, it just lines up and it makes the most amount of sense, or it is what has been rumored a lot recently, and that is a Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster, remake, whatever.
I swear, if they're doing if they're putting any effort towards a remake instead of just putting out 6, I'm gonna. Well,
they are
so
making
irritated.
6. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think
of your efforts.
Well, hang on. Wait, hang on. I don't think Oblivion's being made by Bethesda. If it is a remake, it's not Bethesda.
Don't care. Stop. Let's put effort towards our next title. Stop. Oblivion deserves it. I get it, but man, put out the next game. Put out the next game. I'm sure everyone has seen it by now. By the time this podcast is being aired, it's been a few days since. The announce of the Elders 6 trailer was 2,043 days since the release of Skyrim. And since the Elder Scrolls trailer, it's now been over 2,043 days. We are now further away from the Elder Scrolls announcement trailer 6 than we are from its announcement from the release of the previous game. Okay, here's the make your game. Let's go. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want. Hot take.
Austin, that most recent chat does not make any sense. Problem is, it said unannounced. Double Fine makes more sense here. Oblivion Remaster is not announced. It's just a rumor. That's not even like there's not anything Elder Scrolls in sight at the moment.
I mean, apart from 6, but
yeah, but they're not going to show 6 here.
It's going to be the next Xbox launch exclusive, Jordan. I know, and that's fine with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, my personal take on the conversation was that I don't want remasters. Let's just make the next game. That's my only point. I just want the next one as far as.
All right, Mr. Horizon remastered. No,
I'm the same way, and I'm the same way. I'll buy the Oblivion remaster because I played Oblivion and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a good game.
You know, I didn't mean. I'm the same way with. We didn't need the Zero Dawn remaster. Definitely. But we got it anyway. But
see, now
it's sort of the same. Would I rather have the third game? You're darn tootin'.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Now they're gonna do a multiplayer game. I don't think I want that either, but it's fine.
But here's my little fun prediction for this. I think South of Midnight opens the show. I think that'll be the first game they present. I think then they'll go to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and then I think it'll be the surprise game, and then Doom is going to close the show because that's obviously their biggest title here. Because I think all the other 3 are new IPs. So unless it's Oblivion remaster.
I want more look at Fable. That's what I want.
See, now here's the thing. Austin texted me this earlier that he wishes it was Fable. That would be doing it a disservice, putting it here, because that game is too big to be shoved in a little 50-minute direct with 4 other games. This is going to be their 40-minute post-Xbox showcase direct, kind of like how they did Call of Duty last year and how they did Starfield the year before it, where they, after the showcase, they would do like a 40-minute direct about one game specifically, and it's typically their biggest game releasing that year. This year, sure. It's Fable, 100%. So I think that's going to be their post-Xbox showcase. Because what happens if they put Fable in this direct? It kind of scales it down from what it actually is. Because these are kind of known quantities, and they're not like the big blockbuster AAA games, whereas that's what they want Fable to be. Fable has the highest ceiling out of any of these games. Doom is 100% the most safe option here. But Fable is like, I mean, that's like a generational game. If it hits, it's going to hit. If it flops, it's going to be super duper disappointing, and that's probably it for Fable if it flops. But like, so I think Fable, putting it in this direct is kind of a disservice when we know that's the biggest game, and we know that has the most potential. You want to spend as much focus and effort to promote that game as possible. That is your post showcase direct right there. 100%. As far as Doom goes, like I said, this is going to close the game because this is the one everybody is most excited for. Like, I mean, it may not, who knows? Expedition 33 may be like a metaphor. It just comes out of nowhere and is like amazing or something. But like, Doom is expected to be the best game out of all of these. You know what I mean? Like, will it be the case? Who knows? I'm not saying I want it to be. I want any of them to be better than the other. I don't care. I just want good games, period. But if you're looking at the mass audience, if you're looking at the overall quantity of excitement, Doom is the biggest expected one here. It's the biggest studio. It's the biggest franchise. It's the most reputable. It's the most credible. That's the one you close with. South of Midnight is one that you've been promoting for a while, so let's jump on board off the gate, show you what that game is about, maybe give us a summer release date. I'm going to say Doom is like April, May. And then the surprise game is going to be probably Double Fine or maybe Oblivion. Whatever it is, I do imagine that game will release in 2025 because outside of Avowed getting delayed last year, everything that has been shown at an Xbox Developer Direct has always come out that year. And so I think no matter what this surprise game is, it will come out this year. Who knows? It might even be a shadow drop. Like, can you imagine they just pull another Hi-Fi Rush moment and just show a brand new game, smaller scale project from one of their super... Right. It's one of their super creative studio. Like, imagine Double Fine's like, yo, here's this brand new IP. We went bonkers with it. Play it now. It's going to be awesome. That would be amazing. That would be insane.
Yeah, it would be.
And then Expedition 33, this one's kind of like the wild card here. Like, it's a third party. It's coming to Game Pass. It's not exclusive. It's just from a debut studio. Xbox is promoting it a lot. It looks very promising. Let's get the promotional out for this, and let's try and push it to try and reach that potential. All right, hang on. I'm going to go ahead and read some of Austin's chat because he's been talking. I'm really curious to see the deep dive in Expedition 33. Really hope they knock it out the park, and I'm glad to see Xbox really want to promote it. Yep. It's going to be a next Xbox launch exclusive, talking about Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know if it'll be ready in time, to be honest with you. But it will be on the next Xbox for sure. People can't communicate on Twitter. That's a fact. Would be nice to have a fifth secret game out of nowhere. I think there will be. And I personally think it's going to be Metal Gear Delta. That's my guess. I think it's going to be something that just needs a release date. It's not going to be an announcement. It's not going to be like gameplay reveal. It's going to be like a promotional, hey, it's on the platform. Here's a release date. Here's like a brand new trailer for it. Have fun.
Something extremely cinematic.
And the last time we saw Metal Gear Delta was at the Xbox Showcase last year. The last time we saw it before then was at the Xbox Partner Preview. I think Xbox is kind of just like with them a lot right now, so I think it just makes sense. I want to be sold on the game already. Talking about Fable, I want to see the gameplay right now in all caps. Yeah, I feel that. I'm already sold, but like I agree with you. Like for outside of like people who have been fans of Fable, like Jordan and I, yeah, yeah, you have it right there. Like everybody wants to be sold on it because people understand the hype, they hear the hype, they see it, they just don't know it. You know what I mean?
I also know I could definitely be let down pretty well too.
Yeah, so. yeah, for sure. We want to feel like, okay, this might actually be it. Like this might actually be what we want.
And I hope not. I hope it's successful enough to give us like 3 more games. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Let's do it.
Let's say
all over. Fable 1, Fable 2, and Fable 3. Let's try again.
I will say, you know what I mean? For me,
yeah.
who's just somebody who plays as many things as I and looks into the industry as much, one of the most promising things about this game is the studio behind it. Playground Games. They have yet to miss. Now, granted, they've only made Forza Horizon games.
Yeah,
but like
people love
they're
those
all
games.
90 or aboves on Metacritic. It's like
people love those games.
Okay, I think for sure the game is gonna be polished. It's gonna be big. It's gonna look beautiful. I think the biggest question is, will the gameplay suffice? Because you are taking a racing studio and turning them into a massive RPG studio. I think that is the biggest question.
Will it be fun?
Right. We know it's going to be polished. We're talking about Playground here. We know it's going to look beautiful. We're talking about Playground.
Right.
We know.
Like, is it going to be a nice, beautiful map and fun gameplay and just a dull story? Or, you know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, story's another thing we have to worry about.
Like, you got to hit. Like, this is, this is pressure. Like, it's got to.
Now, here's the thing. See, that's another thing why Fable is so important. If Fable hits, and it is that high 80, maybe even 90s, Playground automatically becomes one of the best studios of all time, I think. You turn a studio who has made 5 racing games, all 90 plus, has basically turned that franchise into considered one of the greatest racing franchises of all time. You take that studio and you let them make a completely different genre. In matter of fact, the biggest video game genre being RPG, and they hit to the same quality. That's unheard of, like in the industry. Like, it really is. You've heard things like where, okay, this studio that doesn't make these types of game made a game, and it's pretty good. Let's hope that they can build on it. this is it. Like, you just got a super iconic, super historic franchise. It is one of the headline games for the big three. You have not done a genre like this ever. People considered this franchise dead for a long time. If you manage to pull this off, it's insane. Like, it's actually, it's like, they're going to make a biopic of this later on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy stuff.
And I hope they do it.
I know. I hope, dude.
I'm rooting for this game to be good so hard. Like, it is the one title that, like, really has me convinced to save up for
to get
an
an Xbox. Yeah. I mean, well, like, that's the thing. Like, outside of just like Fable as a franchise, this game specifically has, in a way, been like the shining light for Xbox ever since the Series X was announced. Because if you remember the 2020 Xbox showcase where Fable was announced, Xbox was still in a pretty dark place because they've been acquiring studios, but they haven't really been announcing things, or games haven't been releasing. They had their whole showcase. Halo Infinite was the first thing. It kind of was like, it looks okay. It was kind of that thing. It's like, Xbox, they're not really coming through here. And then at the very end, they were like, hey, Fable's coming back. And everyone was like, oh, there's hope. Oh my gosh, right. there is hope.
Facts, Austin. Let's bring Army of Two back. Revive it.
Wait. Austin said, to go from a car game to how Fable looks is already amazing. I would never guess Playground worked on it if they never announced the studio working on it. Yeah, it's a fact. I also hope Fable succeeds so Xbox can maybe actually try more to use their gold mine of dead IP. Yeah, 100%. But it's the fact that, like, Fable has kind of been that light. It's like, but this is still coming. This is still coming. This is actually happening. We have so much faith that this will be good. Please just let it be good. You can say Starfield, but that's something that came a little later because they acquired Bethesda. This was
Can
not.
I ask you a question real quick? Saying Starfield, is that game very Mass Effect?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
It seems very Mass Effect.
I mean, outside of the fact that it's sci-fi, no.
Because, like, you know, you're on your ship, and then you load into areas, and then you go in, you raise hell, you shoot, bang, bang, shoot, bang, bang, pick up stuff, interact with stuff, make decisions about people, be loyal, not loyal. Then you get back on your ship to a cinematic, and you fly somewhere else, and you load back in, and then you shoot, and you bang, 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 and you shoot, and then you look for stuff. I don't know. I feel
I mean, what you just described to me is a sci-fi RPG.
I also didn't get that deep into Starfield as far as, like, watching gameplay or anything on it. I just feel like the little bits of sort of what I've seen sort of give it kind of the same
it's like it's a 6.5 game, you know. It's just really okay.
I'm not saying it's on par with the game. I'm just asking if,
for sure not.
Because to me, it seems like Starfield wanted to be the next improvement on something like Mass Effect.
No, what it wanted to be was the next Skyrim in space, and it just wasn't that.
But it missed.
Yeah, completely.
Because I feel like an improved. I want a bigger Mass Effect, is what I want. I want just the biggest, gnarliest Mass Effect.
Mass Effect 5 is coming.
I want a fully explorable Citadel. Is what I want.
Hey, you know what? You might actually be interested in a game. I did a reaction recently. This game has actually been kind of going up on my anticipate list. Exodus. It's being made by the original Mass Effect creator and writer. It is the Mass Effect guy. He created his own studio, and he's making a sci-fi game. It looks like Mass Effect.
I've looked that up before.
Mass Effect is story-driven, and Starfield is all about exploration, where Mass Effect is, like, no exploration at all. I wouldn't say Mass Effect there's no exploration. I wouldn't say that there's no exploration.
Disagree that there's no exploration.
But
there's not as much. There's definitely not as much as Starfield probably
Your first statement is on point, though. Mass Effect is story-driven, and Starfield is all about it.
It 100% is.
Yes, 100. But, yeah. Anyway, Fable, yeah, that's going to come at a later date. But honestly, bigger picture here. this developer direct could genuinely kick off, I think, the best year Xbox has had since a 360 year, I think. When we look at the games that are already confirmed for 2025, we just haven't had that many, period. Like, that's just a fact. We have Doom. We have Outer Worlds 2, which isn't even at this developer direct. We have South of Midnight. We have Fable. We have third-party stuff like Expedition 33. I feel like I'm missing other things as well. We have Avowed still coming out in February. There's just so much here, and who knows what else. We're gonna have a Call of Duty. It just comes out every year, and yes, that is owned by Xbox now. But yeah, what Austin said in the chat is exactly it. The games just need to be good. They just need to slap. That's it. They're there. We all know it. We all see it. We all feel it. They just need to be good. They need to be good. If they all come out and they're okay. Things like South of Midnight, Avowed, Expedition 33, it's going to be very hard for them to do. But if they're on the level of, like, Indiana Jones in the terms of, like, a large amount of people just thoroughly enjoy the game, they're going to make waves. And they're going to see the results for that. I'm not saying every game has to be Game of the Year contender. Not every game has to score, like, 87, 88 on Metacritic.
No,
they just need to be good. They need to be good.
90s are bust.
Right. And I actually feel like Indiana Jones might go down. If this year ends up being as good for Xbox as we feel, I feel like Indiana Jones is going to be looked back as one of Xbox's most important games. Because the momentum Xbox is riding on right now because of Indiana Jones is kind of something we haven't seen in a long time. Because, like, Indiana Jones is low-key like a universally praised game. Even for people who didn't necessarily love its gameplay or whatnot, I've heard so many people give it like 6 out of 10, but they're like, but it's just such a well-made game. Like, it's so well-made, and you can tell that they wanted to make the game, and there's so much passion to it. I just personally don't
I've heard
like
mostly positive things.
Yeah, so. And so some people are just like, I just don't like the type of game it is, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But I've not heard anybody say it's a bad game. Like genuinely. If they could just ride that momentum, if Avowed comes out, or if they shadow drop Double Fine's game, whatever, and it's just another solid game that so many people have fun with, Indiana Jones might be that thing to kick off that momentum needed for Xbox. And that's crazy because who would have guessed, you know? But very excited.
I 100% hate to be that guy during a podcast. I need like 2 minutes. I will
go ahead. Go ahead. But no, I'm very excited for the Xbox Developer Direct. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Xbox fan, so there's going to be a lot of excitement there. I'm curious what the surprise game. Honestly, who knows? The surprise game could genuinely be a surprise, and it could be something that no one really thought of. Maybe it's Forza Horizon 6. No, I don't know. Like, it could be something completely random. Banjo-Kazooie. Like, who knows? It's not. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Double Fine or, like, Oblivion Remake or a Gears collection or something. Like a random Sega game or something. OD from Kojima. Like, who knows, bro, you know? But I'm very curious if there will be a 5th game. I think there will be. I just don't think it's going to be anything big. Like, I guess the biggest thing would be, like, Metal Gear. But even that, I don't think it's going to be a big showing. It's just going to be a release date or something. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how it happens, or what happens. But January 23rd, what day is that? It's a Thursday. Ooh, that's a little unfortunate. That's tough. I want to do a reaction to it, but it is at 12. I'll be at school then. That's tough. We'll see. We'll see how we'll do it. But I will have a reaction on the channel, everybody, for people who want to watch it. And then obviously we're going to cover it. I'm going to do a bunch of videos about it. But man, I'm so excited to see just all 3 of these games. Like, I really am just super, like, I'm just so excited to see more Doom. Doom looks awesome. I'm excited to see what release dates can get announced, because that'll be a big telling.
I'm excited for the franchise for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, even though I'm not a big Doom guy, I'm certainly excited for the franchise. I think the soundtrack is incredible. I do know there's apparently some like weird thing with the soundtrack and the person who does it. We don't have to get into all that, I guess.
The composer.
But still.
I will say this one is supposed to be a little bit different in terms of like the approach they're going for. They're going for a little more story focus, so that's interesting. And then it's going to be more grounded in a sense of there's not going to be like you're in the air for like 5 minutes straight, like bouncing on walls and stuff. It's going to be more of like you're on foot, or you're on a dragon, or you're in some giant mech or something. There's not going to be a whole lot of like climbing up all these towers and stuff without like touching the ground for a few like hot seconds. There will still be a lot of parkour. I mean, that's just Doom. But it's not going to be like there's these parkour challenges like halfway through a level just to get to the next fight.
Right. Yeah, like non-optional, extremely difficult explorative parkour areas.
Right. And then of course, like the whole game is medieval themed, so we're going to see a bunch of new weapons, a bunch of new things. Like the whole giant mechs and dragon thing alone is already like bro, what are we in store for? Like that's going to be crazy. So very
easy 90.
Very, very excited.
Easy
90. What an interesting number, 90. I'll bet a kidney on it. But yeah, very excited. Very excited. All right, let's get into our final topic. Hopefully we don't spend too long on it, but who knows? We're going to be ranking our top 10 franchises of all time, and we do have honorable mentions. I'm pretty sure me and Jordan both have 5 honorable mentions. There was just too many. And I told Jordan there is no restrictions to what can be on this list outside of there has to be at least 2 or more games. But like if he wanted to do like specifically like FF7 instead of just Final Fantasy, he can do that. If he wanted to do a spin-off specifically, he can do that. If he wanted to do a specific era of a franchise, he can do that. I have a feeling I know why you asked that question. I have a big prediction for that.
You probably do. Especially since we've done a couple of other things. Rankings, so you probably have a bit of a different
I know
idea.
exactly what it is. I don't even know why I say I think I know what it is.
Where I'm going with it. So
but yeah, so we're going to be doing our top 10 franchise of all time and some honorable mentions. So, do you remember who went first on the character one? Was it you or me? Do you remember?
I don't, actually. I think I
feel like
first.
I went
Yes, it has. Oh, there we are.
I think we're back. That's like never happened in a long time.
Weird. We are supposed to get more Storm.
Oh, that might be it. All right, we're gonna wait a second. Can you like hear and see everything? Like is all good?
No. It's like a.
Try refreshing.
I can hear it.
But you can't see.
Here, let me. My mic actually is kind of far away. Let me move it closer to me. I didn't realize it. I thought it was me, but I guess not. No, definitely not. Yeah, I don't know. You might possibly need to restart your OBS, unfortunately. Because your video's not coming through.
Okay.
It's just jumping between a green and a gray screen. Yeah.
Hang on. What if I do this?
I don't think it matters.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna end the stream for everybody watching, and we're gonna start up again.
I say, and you might not need to close